Hello, Gemini. Welcome back to Intuitive Insights with Willow. Here is where I always wish you peace and the understanding that life is always happening for you, not to you. So let's see. This is your daily read. What is going on with Jimmy Jim? Oh, Jimmy, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. Oh, strength. So we have strength. What is influencing Gemini to be so courageous? Three of Wands. Because you've been waiting for this moment. And let's see where we're going with this energy if we stay on this path. Eight of Pentacles. Ooh, I like it. Six of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. So let's clarify this Three of Wands. What you been waiting for? We have Queen of Cups, the Devil, and Ace of Swords. It's like you've been waiting to gain insight. Ooh, you could have been waiting for one to fall off. Somebody, this is giving me like a career read. This is an individual. Gemini, you've been waiting for somebody to see or for someone to burn themselves off. Could be dealing with an Aries. I mean, you are showing up with fire energy here, Leo. But it's giving me a Gemini. Oh, Three of Wands is Aries. It's actually Mars and the Sun energy. So this is a Gemini that's been in your feminine energy, really just keeping things afloat. But it's one that's been trying to gain clarity and understanding about some toxicity that's been in the workplace. You may have spoken on it in the past, or you may not have seen it beforehand, but now things are coming to the surface and you just sitting back. You were waiting for things to play out. You were waiting for your opportunity to come and play on the field. Because it's giving me a football player sitting on the bench waiting for coach to call him in. Okay, let's see. Let's clarify this strength. You could also you could just be the Gemini that's been sitting really heavily working on yourself, so you could be ready for this opportunity, but you haven't shown it. Like, you know, people haven't seen that it's Eight of Swords. Nobody knew that you were waiting for the time for you to step in and do this, perform better than the next person. High Priestess. It's like you've been illuminating this energy like you are the one for this job. You're the one, the best candidate for this, but you haven't said it. You know, you've shown it. You've just been allowing things to just come to you naturally or be magnified naturally. You're kind of embodying your cousin energy, the Virgo here. Virgo don't dance in your face. Virgo works really hard. They're not going to tell you their worth. They show you their worth. Gemini, that is what you've embodied. You ain't been talking about it, so you ain't been chatty about it. You ain't been sitting here throwing shots, you know, low shots or backhanded jokes about anybody. You haven't been doing that. You've been very poised, pretty cool with everybody, but you've been waiting for people to see that you're the person that's best suited for that position. So what we have here is strength. Strength is clarified with Eight of Swords, who falls under Leo, the strength card. High Priestess and the Hierophant. Look here. You've mastered, didn't I say that for Taurus? You've mastered the ability to just trust your intuition, and you've surrendered the aggression. You've surrendered like the physical aggression. So you could have been arguing with this individual. You could have been talking to this person and saying, hey, they've been doing this and, you know, XYZ, woo bam bam. You're no longer doing that. You're more like poised now. You know it? I said it before. No matter how long it takes, it's going to come to the surface. Because what happens in the dark does come to the light. People eventually see it. Sometimes, you know, it's a little bit late, but the reality does come to the surface. You understand? Now, I am looking at 9 swords here. So this could have been something that's been very hard for you, something heavy on your spirit. You know, you may work that 9 to 5 and be thinking about it on the drive and kind of calm down, but it gets a little heavier. And then when you get home, you're minding your business, washing dishes, and next thing you know, you cussing that bitch out in your mind. You real mad, but you ain't allowing it to show. You ain't even verbalizing it with your loved ones. You're not saying it at all. You may blow off the steam when you get home, but baby, you're sitting on the couch eating popcorn and ice cream, allowing it to pass. Because you know what? Bills still got to be paid. They still come through like, pay me now. Okay? Like, that's how they come through. So here, I think you've gained wisdom and you've learned that arguing ain't getting you nowhere. Speaking on it, it's not getting you nowhere, because they have a strong argument and you have a strong argument. So you have surrendered. It takes a lot of fucking courage to shut your mouth and allow things to play out. That is not easy to do, baby. People be thinking throwing hands is hard. No, shutting up is hard. Silence is hard. Knowing what's right and not speaking on it is hard. Having to be blamed for something that you had no control over, but you can't say anything, because then you just ultimately just look like the bad guy. That is hard. You understand? But that's what you've done. You've put the claws, you've attracted them claws, and you're done with it. You're just playing the game. Now in the future here we have 8 of Pentacles. Let's see. Let's clarify that. Now shook off the dust, 'cause in God I trust. 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. I want you to know, Jim, that it's gonna pay off. You have 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. I'm looking at 10 Pentacles here. Look, that hard work. In the future, you're gonna be working really hard. Why are you working so hard? You already mastered what it is. You're going into a new position. So you could have been going, I don't even think you were going out for a new position. I think that this was something that was, you were fine with doing what you were doing, but whatever they was doing was affecting what you were doing. So I think what happened here is there's a shift, a major shift that's going on. And that shift is going to be beneficial for you, because it's going to allow you to better connect, empathetically connect with other people. So when I look at the 3 of Pentacles, I look at the Trinity, the balance, and we have the 2 of Cups here. So this is love. This is harmony, all right, for the long haul. And then you have the 7 of Pentacles. It's giving me working really hard, all right, because you got the 7 and the 8. So you're building up. You're mastering it. You're still playing the field, but instead of working hard and not seeing the benefits of your work, now you're gaining the acknowledgement. You're receiving the acknowledgement for all that you have done. So like I just said in one of the other readings, I only did Taurus and Aries so far. One of them I said, rotten fruit naturally falls from the tree. Don't allow them to let you get up out your body. You understand? I think they did make you, force you out your body, but you let it go. You got courageous. You had to take on the bravery of silence. And that's hard. Bravery is like fierce, but it's like, I'm not winning here. And I don't even think necessarily you wanted to win. I think you were just trying to prove a point, but it got you nowhere. It did the opposite of what you wanted. So you had to, retreat. Bottom of your clarifying deck, you have the King of Wands. Bottom of your main deck, you have the 6 of Cups. Look, what you're trying to do is nurture strong partnerships. You're trying to have the courage, obtain the ability to see the value in what was, what could be, and not trying to force it to be in the reality. You understand? When we see Scorpio in the reading, and this is the 6 of Cups, so this is Pluto altogether, and the King of Wands is Mars, all right? When we're looking at those two energies, they're both, Pluto's small, but they both pack a big fucking punch. What you're trying to do here is contain your emotions, and you're not trying to make things what they used to be, or make things the way they should be, or how in your mind, Gemini, because you're smarter than the motherfucker, okay? Y'all are very smart. I forget what it was a study of, but like the most smart people in the world, majority of them are Gemini. You guys are very intellectual individuals, all right? What you're trying to do here is you're allowing things to play out, and eventually you will have your time where you can make what you see and what you know to be right a reality. But right now you just need to tame those feelings, contain those emotions, all right? Understand that people see what you're saying. They understand where you're coming from. They know what you're saying is true, but you could be dealing with an asshole manager or something. You just got to allow things to just work itself out. There's a lot of bureaucracy that happens in the background. A lot of people don't acknowledge that when it comes to business. Now, if this is in the form of a relationship, let me tell you something. With that Three of Wands, Queen of Cups, the Devil, and the Ace of Swords, you're going to find out what that motherfucker is up to. It's going to come to the surface. And it's going to give you the strength, the ability to move forward. You're going to take that valuable love that you got somewhere else, all right? It take a lot of courage, a lot of strength to let it go. You could have, a family with this individual, which can make things a little complicated. So you could be changing the degree in which you handle this relationship with said individual. You understand? All right. That is what I got for you, Gemini. If you got anything from this reading, give you girl a like. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time and your attention for stopping through. It does mean a lot to me. But like that video if I helped you, huh? Help me help you. Well, I helped you help me. Yeah. All right. Also understand, Gemini, that we cannot control the hand that we are dealt in a 24-hour span. All right. Every day we live a new life. It's a blessing to always be 6 feet above the dirt. All right. If you ain't got nothing to be grateful for, be grateful that you got your ass up this morning, because you could have not woke up. All right. Why I say that so aggressively and so heavy, I don't know. Maybe somebody need to hear it like that. Anywho, just trust and believe that you're going to play that hand to the best of your abilities. All right. Because do well to remember, regardless of what it looked like, you got this. I see you tomorrow. Bye.